What's up, everyone? Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining our new stream episode. Why do I keep on calling this episode? I would say version 11, our new version for Dona to-do list. Still working on Dona to-do list for the flutter app we are building, and yeah, this is version 11. For those of you who have been asking, that I actually add a number so that they can know which one is the previous and which one is the new episode or some stuff like that. But I've been doing that throughout the whole series. I've been adding like version 1, version 2, version 3, and all the way to version 11, which is today. Yeah, you guys can. And I also created a new playlist. You guys also check out the new playlist on my YouTube channel. There's a new playlist over there. I can actually see for all the versions and all the stuff we have been doing. How's everyone doing? And let's see. Yeah, yesterday we actually left a lot of stuff undone. We didn't complete most of the stuff I said we should complete, and let's actually start from there. One is actually okay. The first one is basically adding X and check icon to the input for the to-dos. I think we did that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, which was for this one, yeah, where we added the close, the clear icon, and the save icon. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, there's an issue right away. Thought we fixed this yesterday. Yeah, thought we did. And if you tap on this will also set the boot's input from showing up. So that's a bug that we need to fix right away. That should be inside the main view. I think so. Yeah. Inside the main view. Okay, not actually inside the main view. Where is that located? Let's see. Yeah, it's basically inside the main view where we are setting is typing to false, and we forgot to actually do the same when someone kind of like taps on this button, the clear button. When we clear the input, we also have to reset the typing to be equals to false also. Yeah, that actually makes sense. So if I save this, we kind of like try the same stuff again. So that should be over here. Let's say type in some stuff and tap on this. Yeah, it resets the whole stuff, but right now this is empty until you start typing again. And also if you clear this to the end, it also resets, and tapping on this also resets the whole stuff. So yeah, that's basically the functionality we are looking to get. But yeah, we just fixed that right away. Next stuff is basically so we are done with this section, that one. Now we just move it from here all the way to the end right here. Next is the view to-dos and its notes. So yeah, which was the one we are working on. You can actually view to-dos, each of the to-dos, icons, the name, and you can actually be able to edit them or do whatever you want to do. And also you have the notes for each of the to-dos. You can edit them, and you have the checkbox that says if it's completed or not completed, and you have the date the to-do was actually added or some stuff like that. So we actually worked on this, but we haven't added the editing part of it. We haven't hooked it up to actually work, and also we haven't hooked all these is completed or not completed to do part to actually work. And next stuff we haven't done is this section, which is also saving the new changes for the to-dos and other stuff. We didn't do that also. That's not yet done, because if you open this, you actually see that it's still the same to-do, nothing changed. Yeah, actually see that nothing changed. Open it back, still goes there. So yeah, we have to actually work on that. So that's basically what we're doing today. Once we're done with that, convert a pop-up to Glassmorphic. Yeah, we are actually someone suggested we try out Glassmorphic design yesterday on the chat. So yeah, we actually go ahead and try that out and see what that looks like compared to what we currently have right now. So this is actually what we have, and we are going to move this from this current UI to Glassmorphic UI and see the difference, and if you are going to stick with this or basically stick with the Glassmorphic UI, depending on what the outcome. Yeah, I guess we can actually, what else? Okay, add the edit list and edit list. So actually start from this first and see if we can work our way down the list we created here. See which one you can actually complete. So right over here, you can actually see this. Right now we have to make it in a way that if you click on this, we have to save this to do. Let's say I added a new one. Let's say I change this from new home to new home visit, and I change the note for each of the to do for this particular to do to new home visit to grandma. If I hit the save changes, this should basically go ahead and save the whole stuff we have done, but that's not working, so that's what we need to go do right now. This is a perfect place to actually do that. That should be from our two buttons are actually right in here. So this is cancel and this should be save, and our buttons should be black. I should give this a black color. That should be, so when the state is pressed, go ahead and show this color. When the state is not pressed, it should be secondary color, which is black color, and I'm gonna actually do the same for when the state is pressed. It should actually be the same color, or we can actually add an opacity to it to say that okay, the state is pressed. I will say with opacity, let's say like 0.6 opacity, so that can be a little bit of visual differences between the two states when it's not pressed and when it's actually pressed. And if you kind of like open this up, or no, and the whole thing is now dark, and even the text, the inner text is actually dark too. So I think we need to change that to actually try white, or basically it's of white. Let's try green color, see what that looks like. Yeah, so it has save changes. That doesn't look good. Keep it back to white, because white looks good on black. So yeah, so that's much better. We can actually increase the font weight. Font weight does 600, and then we have font size. So font size should be 14.0. Save all this. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's much better. Save changes and cancel. That's a mistake with the our grammar here, and that shouldn't be. Basically, we misspelled the changes, so let's change that. That should be CHANGES. Yeah. If you open that up, yeah, that's much better. Right now I'm gonna say that when the user taps on this, we can actually go ahead and save the changes, fix all those stuff that we previously didn't do. Let's try and do that right away. So when the user taps on this, so instead of removing the overlay entry, go ahead and call to do updates to update the particular to do. That should be somewhere here. I'm gonna say final to do is equals to build context provider. I'm forgetting how to actually do this, so I actually go ahead and copy the code. Okay, yeah, I have somewhere tab block to do block. Yeah, I'm looking for the to do blocks. Block provider.off. Okay, yeah, we got hold of the to do block, so that's basically what we are going to use to replace what we have right here. And what else? Okay, see, okay, to do blocks. So you can actually have to do blocks, block provided of context. Okay, tab. Yeah, we can actually call that to do block right in here. Show somewhere when the button is actually tapped on the change button before removing the overlay. I'm going to say to do block dot add, and this should be update to do, and this expects a to do to be added to it. So I'm going to create something. I'm going to say final. Final, we have to get hold of that particular to do we tapped on, the user actually tapped on, which is basically this particular to do right here. Okay, yeah, that's better. I'm gonna pass the to do to it. Yeah, that, there we go. And now we can actually handle this event when this event is actually emitted, or when the user kind of like calls our events. So we can just handle it somewhere inside our blocks, to do's and to do's block. And I'm gonna say currently we have load to do's and add to do's. So I'm gonna say over here on, and when the user calls, when there's update to do events, go ahead and do this for us. No, cap this off. And what do you want to do? What do you actually want to execute? Okay, update to do. That's basically what we want to execute. Yeah, update to do's. We could just use this, call this in here. Let's see some changes we need to make, and kind of like, okay, update to do's is expecting update, pass it to do, update events to it, and then basically goes ahead and yield updates to do store updated. Okay, no, that's not what we're trying to achieve. So I'm basically go ahead and get hold of the event, and also get hold of the meter, which is basically the to do states, and just copy that over and paste that in here. Now we're gonna watch to see okay, now let's see. Okay, we have final updated to do's is equals to state of as to do's loaded, and then dot to do's dot map, get hold of all the to do's, and then filter where to do's dot id, which is we get from yeah, to do's dot id, and shake where event dot updated dot to do's dot id, and get kind of like filter where that yeah, get hold of that particular to do's, and then update that particular to do's that kind of like matches that particular id that we want to update. And then we are going to say yield to do's dot loaded and this, and also save to do's and whatever we want to do. So we can actually go ahead and do this stuff right there. I'm going to say to do's loaded, yield to do's loaded, and then await save to do's. This shouldn't be saved to do's because we're not trying to save a new to do's, we're trying to update a to do. So this right here is actually wrong, so we need to go ahead and fix this. But for now, let's comment this out and see if that changes is actually working within the list we currently have in here. Okay, let's try and do that. So get back to our main view right in here. So when this update to do is called and we're passing the previous to do, it's not going to have the updates. Okay, there's a mistake there. So actually try to do something like to do dot notes is equals to whatever changes that user typed in here inside our, let's see again, input field. So we had an input field. I'm trying to figure that out where we can actually keep them. There are two input fields we had, yeah, this and this. So whatever changes that's in between this and also inside this, that's what we are going to use. So how do we actually get the changes that the user made between these two? One way we can actually do that, we can get that from the text editing controller. If we can pass a text editing controller, because we don't want to pass unchanged and listen to unchanged and then update a variable within our class. So I think passing in text editing controller will work. So in that case, I'll just basically go up all the way to this section and create two text editing controller. That should say text editing controller, and it should be for title. Basically say edit title is equals to text editing controller that we currently have here. I'm going to copy that, move that in here, and next we still have another text editing controller, but this is going to be for notes. Yeah, basically for the notes here. Edit notes. There you go. So, and also remember to dispose both of them off. So I'm gonna say edit notes dot dispose next edit title dot dispose. Yeah, those are the two stuff we needed to do in our dispose function. Now I'm going to scroll down all the way to where we need them. These two stuff needed. I'm going to say controller passing edit title should be here, and this one should be controller edit note should be here. And next we can get hold of whatever is inside the to-dos edit notes dot text dot trim to remove any white spaces and pass it in here. And next we are going to say to do, if I'm gonna do double tap, is equals to this, and then dot task should be equals to edit title dot text dot trim, cap this off, notes can be used as a setup because it's final. Okay, that's interesting. So we need to go ahead and fix this. Also, task cannot be used as a setup because it's final. Models to do. Let's go ahead and do some changes inside our models. Okay, I'm gonna use copy with, yeah, operator to entity or from entity. Okay, this from entity. Just use copy with, yeah, and we can pass in any of the properties that we need to pass in there. One will be, let's start with, let's go back, remove all this up again, dot copy with, and with copy with we need to pass in all this variable that is actually expecting. Complete should be to do dot complete. Next should be, what was it again? ID should be to do dot ID. Next should be note, that should be to do dot note, and next should be task, and that should be to do dot task. And if we try and do this, that would be an error. Oh yeah, that should be task first. But if you try and do this, there won't be any error to say, but this will actually be the same previous to do that we're trying to change. There won't be nothing will actually change. So because we want to change some stuff, so we're gonna get whatever is inside the edit no, wait a second. Okay, this for notes. So edit note, whatever is inside the edit note controller. So I'm gonna say note dot test dot trim, remove every white spaces, and do the same for task. I'm gonna say note edit title dot test dot trim, and that will fix all the issues we are getting before. And now when we have this couple it, and I'm gonna say add I just want to confirm some stuff. Okay, this copy width returns a new type of to do, and we are gonna say, where is it again? Come on. Our main view. Okay, we pass it in here as to do and close this off. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so let's say we tapped on this to something is wrong. Oh, controller.initial value is equals to null, and we have, oh, I see. Before we pass in the controller, we can actually pass in looks like what we tried to do didn't work. Because the initial value that we have here, we are passing it to be whatever the current, to do the current node to do node that we tapped on, whatever is in there should be the initial value of our constructor, of our controller, of our test input field. But right now, because we have the initial value and we are passing the controller also to it, and controller doesn't have an initial value, so these two stuff are contradicting each other. So we have to basically remove one We still need the initial value, right? And we can try and say, okay, when the user is done editing, maybe they can pass the controller to us or stuff like that, but that won't not work. So we need to find a way to actually get the current editing values from the input field. Okay, let's go with this method. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the controller anyway. Or we can actually still use, okay, that's another way we can actually do this. We can still use the controller that we are using, but we have to find a way to actually dispose of the controller when someone taps the overlay to close. Let's say we want to close the overlay, we need to dispose of the controller then before we close the overlay. I think that could work. Let's try that out first. Let's see. That will lead us to basically removing whatever we added here. Yeah, comment this out, and I'm gonna copy this too. And I'm gonna bring it inside our drop down right in here. Also remember to dispose it off. We're still gonna try this to see how this works. So when this button is being called, the cancel button, we want to dispose of the edit note dot dispose, and also edit title dot dispose. And also we need to surely do the same when we want to dispose it off. Also here actually do the same stuff, but the funny thing is that this has not been created already. The test editing has already been created before we called it right over there, so that's going to cause some problem. So we actually call it right at the top there. Let's see what else we need to do. And if you go ahead and try this out, but before we do that, so I'm going to pass in test to be to do dot task, and this we have a test should be to do dot note. Now we can use it within our input, thereby I will cancel this and also cancel comment this out, and then this should be open, and then this should be open. Go ahead and save this and give this a try to make sure that stuff are working. Okay. Okay, we are now having an issue, and the dispose editing controller is actually working. So right now I think we can actually do the same stuff we did, because if you open this, you can actually see the controller still have this test right in it. Next stuff we want to do is we want to get hold of them and use them right in here to actually edit the task. So let's try this out. So I'm gonna say open this up and add new home today, just for trying out today, and then hit the save changes. We have updated to do is to do first task new home. Okay, nothing actually changed it. Change right in here, but I'm gonna say final updated. Yeah, updated to do now should be equals to this. And try this one. Okay, open this up. Today save, and you can actually see, okay, we have task completed first, task new home today, notes is new home today, and ID is not actually passed in, but this is basically our to-dos that we currently updated right in here. Okay, looks like that's working. But the issue why it didn't update here, because it couldn't find the ID. Because if you take a look right in here, for our to-do block, within our to-do block, we are looking for where ID is equals to updated to-do ID. If that is true, go ahead and add the updated to-do ID. Else, add this just loop and do nothing, just keep on adding to-dos that are looping through. So that's basically what's happening here. But because we couldn't get the ID of the to-do, which we actually we saw right now, we have to debug why that's happening. You have to figure out why that's actually happening. So add to-do to state, and over here we are saying to-dos don't get all the, okay, this is returning list.entity.todos to us, right? Once that is returned from our repository, we are saying to-dos.loaded, to-dos.map, to-do.from entity.to-list. So to-do from entity.to-list, let's check one of stuff. Our to-do entity has, so our to-do entity is basically from our repo folder, repository folder. I'm very sure of that. Yeah, to-do entity has, okay, ID and boolean, complete, notes, and task. So it has all these properties. Right in here where we have the to-do model, and because this is calling this function to-do from entity, we are passing in the to-do entity, and it should be entity.task, entity.complete, entity.notes, but there's another one that is missing. It should be entity.id, which we didn't add it. So I think that's where the issue is coming from. So let's see why that's happening. So we have to do ID, notes, and task. Every to do has that. To do the copy with, we are passing in ID, notes, string, task, and it returns task. This is task. Complete, okay, ID, passing this.id, and also the same thing with notes. Then from here, entity, we should also be able to pass in ID to it. that should be coming from entity dot id. Okay, the argument of int cannot be assigned to parameter of string, so we need to fix that. So our id currently is an int variable right in here, and for that reason we have to also change this to int, so that being 0, and also right in here that should be int optional. Okay, that fixed this error. One more. Is there any other errors that we're having? Okay, I think this is complete, so let's save this and restart our app. Okay, now we have is issues that we are fixing right away that we need to fix. Okay, there's no issues. Let's start our app again to make sure there's no issues. Let's start. Okay, there's none. Yeah, everything is fine. Yeah, everything is fine. Okay, let's go back to our code and try updating our to do one more time again and see what happens. We are doing that in the main view. Just want to open the code part, open here and try doing this and see what happens. So let's say open home, just type today, and this also say today, and hit on save changes. So ID is 7, complete, to do complete, false, task, new home today, notes, new home today, ID is 7, and this didn't update, still the same new home. Okay, let's take a look from our to-do block, so because that's where the issue is coming from. So when there's an update event, fire this function which is update to do state, and when the update to do state is actually called, let me actually take a look somewhere here. Yeah, okay, when the update state is actually being called, is what happens. So we have to updated to do's, and okay, figure out where do this for loss, pass that to be a to-do list, and then yield to-dos loaded with the updated to-dos, but that didn't work. So to fix that, I'm gonna do this way. So don't return any stuff, return nothing, and this should be async. Since this is async, remove the yield. This should be emit. Just emit this new events, and we already know where to handle that. Yeah, so just emit that, save. Try this again. Hopefully this works this time around. Home today to today. Yeah, that works. So that's cool. We are able to actually be able update our to do, and we can actually see that working live. So that's basically what we are trying to get to. We achieved that. So we are able to update this particular to do. If you open it, you can actually see the same stuff, but the issue right now is that this to do is not actually persisted in our database, because we updated it, which is showing us this. If you go ahead and restart our app, or basically let's say you close this app and open it up, you can actually see the update is now gone. We can't even see it again. If you go ahead and add the updates again, it still be there, but it's no longer, it will not be persisted inside our own database. Yeah, our database doesn't know about this update that we made. It just currently the current variable that we have, which is basically the current list variable in here, is the one holding this property, and so that's why if you call to do's loaded, is kind of like getting this created variable that we have here that's holding a new updated list and passing it in here. Because that is not persisted in our DB, if you go ahead and close this app or restart this app, this update will just be gone. Yeah. So to fix that, we have to be able to persist that same update in our DB. So how do we do that? So I'm going to call a function that's going to be called, instead of saying save to do's, because whenever you call save to do's, let's see if that's actually the main function to call. So I have main view. No, that should be inside a repository. So inside our repository, I have DB storage. Yeah. We have a function called save to do's. Wait, save to do is saving a list of to do's. Oh no, that's not what we're looking for. Okay, save to do. I think this is what we're looking for. So when you call save to do, it needs a to do entity to be passed in, and also it needs a to do list to be passed in also. Basically, it needs to know which of this list should contain this particular to do, and which of the to do should we add to that particular list. So that's basically what this whole code is talking about here. We are saying Isar DB write function Isar to do entity put async to do Isar to do the entities put async that particular to do that the user called, and then main list Isar to do's where name to equal list name find one to do's add to do's, and okay. Okay, I see. Okay, I think that works. So you can actually call the same function from our to do block right in here. So let's try that out. So I'm going to say event to do an event to dot list. Do we have such thing as event dot list? Okay, I see. So we need to add that. So I'm gonna go to do's block. Whenever update to do is being called, update to do, we have to pass in the list that to do belongs to. Also, variable, so that should be this dot list. Yeah, list does list. Should pass this to the yeah, and updated to do, comma, list should be list, the current list. So because this is object of toString that actually return the format of that particular object or class we are working with. There we go. So I'm gonna head and save this, and this is going to throw some errors. One being the place we call this requires us to pass in a list. It requires us to pass in a list. We need to get access to the current selected list from the user. And how do we do that? So basically we need to pass in, when this is called, we can actually pass in a list with it also. So we have this tab block builder. in there we are saying listen to when tab active color. Okay, so you already have a tab block somewhere we can actually listen to right in here. Like I say, when this is called, whenever a show drop down is called, we can pass another property to it called list. Should be active figure out where we were. Okay, else if state dots is to do is loaded, do whatever we want to do. Okay, the first one, the mail parent is wrapped with to do's block, and this section right in here, let's see where this end. Okay, wrapped with to do's tab block. Okay, so either we wrap our show drop down with our builder, with a builder, or we could actually wrap this one with a builder, still actually get the same effect, but that depends. The question will be where will be the good place, the best place to wrap that, or the best place to do this stuff we want to do right away. If you ask me, I would say we can actually go ahead and wrap this with our builder. So let's try that. So we say builder is going to return this, and the builder is going to be of type this type tab block. I'm going to get access to the active. There you go. Active to do list tab, that should be active. Yeah, we misspelled it. So we could actually use that whenever we want to save the to do. Yeah, it requires a list, so I'm just passing the active in here, and that will solve the issues. But there's still one error that we are having that we need to fix. What we just added here, we need to remove that. Save. Now we save that, so I'll go back to the tab block and do a little bit of changes in there. I'm gonna call save updated to do's. That's not true, that's not what we want to do, but what I want to pass in is the updated to do in here, and the next one will basically be event dot list, and it's called save to do, not save to do's. So if you go ahead and restart our app and try this again, so let's bring this up. Console, debug console, clear our debug console, start with home. I'm gonna say home today, and the notes still say home today, and then tap on the save changes. Looks like this worked. We have to confirm that by basically restarting our app. So let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the app to make sure that that worked. Looks like it didn't. I can also bring up my DB, local DB console to actually view what my database looks like. Make sure we're actually on the same side in here. So you can actually see that we made a changes. Oh, we went ahead and created a new to-do and called it new home today. That was interesting. That's not what we're actually trying to do. We wanted to create a new to-do. We don't want to create a new to-do. We want to update our to-do, not create a new to-do. So even if you take a look inside our database, you will also see that a new to-do is created instead of updated. So to-do, no, actually to-do list all the way to the last one. Yeah, new to-do today, new to-do today, and this hash code, the ID is 51, whereby the ID shouldn't be 51. Yeah, new home should be this one that should be updated, but it didn't update, thereby creating a new to do for us, and we don't need it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Our DB should reset. Yeah, the count should be 1, and this should be the last one within our home list. So we need to fix some issues right away. We can actually see there's problems that we need to fix. That should be starting from here. Instead of calling save to do's, looks like we need to create another API. Another API access point. We can actually call that one to be update to do instead of save to do. Instead of using the same save to do, looks like that's where we're having these issues. And will look like this. I'm gonna say Isar to do Isar.todo entities dot update. So there's nothing like update. Okay, we already have put. Yeah, put all. So put does the same thing as save and update at the same time. So we're gonna have inside our to-dos repository, I'm going to have another function instead of saying save to do. This will be of type future. Yeah, of type future. Paste, that should be update. Yeah, update to do, passing it to do empty. And also the to-do that we want to update, the to-do we want to update, and the to-do list that it belongs to. I don't think we need to add this to-do list that it belongs to. I don't think there's a reason for that, but we can actually keep it for now. And then we need us to actually fix all these issues that's happening here, because this needs to conform to the stuff is implementing. Our repository, that's it, the abstract class that is actually implementing, it needs to conform to the missing functions. And I'm not going to implement this missing function, so I'm going to just leave it as throw unimplemented error, when someone calls that, so the person can go ahead and implement it if they want. But later on we'll be implementing all this stuff, yeah, because we need a way to save the to-dos with using different databases, also using using crowd database, also saving it, maybe creating a back end and then calling an API also to do that. So over here we have update to do. Is almost the same thing as saying save to do, but what I'm going to do is to basically copy let's copy the same stuff that we have here. I think I'll just go ahead and copy this one like this, and then we can make the changes that we want on it. Right in here, I'm going to remove this unimplemented error, which should be thrown when someone calls our function, which is currently not implemented. And mark this async, should be asynchronous. Piece of calling put sync. So to do entity, so I'm going to copy this and it is to do's entity. Put a to do that we want to update, since there's no update function. We need to delete all this part. Don't need that. In here, definitely do not need all this also. So I'm gonna call this. This should be saying put, not put async. So right now I can actually go back to our to-dos block and try this out again. So it looks like we need to create another function that looks like this with just few updates. So instead of saying save to do, I'll say update to do, passing a to do list to it, right? I have return. There you go. So it actually called update to do entity to do list, and now this function should be called, that's why it's been highlighted, should be called in here instead of save to do's. Go ahead and save this. There you go. Go ahead and save this. But let's actually take a look and see if we got this right. To do dot to entity, the model to do has the converts our to do dot to entity by passing a task, note, and complete, but it didn't pass the ID. I guess this is why we are actually creating a new to do. Okay, I see. And the ID will be basically there you go. Okay, let's try within our to do entity right in here. Okay, looks like we need to rebuild our to do entity again, and this is going to cause some issues within our database, so we need to run some code to rebuild this. And we can actually get the code from in here. That should be Isar DB.dev. Kind of almost forgotten the code to run, because kind of like a runner that kind of generates our some other code for us. So flutter pub.add, yeah. Then we can actually call this runner to generate some code that we need. So I'm going to paste this in here, call this. Okay, that succeeded. Okay, let's see the parameter IDs required, but there's no corresponding arguments. Okay, how this require parameters, which is ID, and we needed to pass that in also right in here, but to do entity 1 2 3 4, yeah, 1 2 3 4. So I'm gonna add ID in here, set this to 2, because these are basically for our dummy datas, so it requires us to do all those stuff in there. Do the same ID 4, comma, and do the last one here, ID 5, comma. Hope we got everything in order. I think so. So go ahead and save this, then head over in here. I'll fix some issues that needs to be removed. Okay, once we do this, okay, pass to do, passing with the ID, okay, from and converting it to do entity, we pass also with the ID. What else? I don't think we have any other issues. Next is actually going to go ahead and restart our app and see if we broke any stuff or something happened. Yeah, looks like we're in the right direction. Nothing was broken. Everything is still working the same. And even if you open this, okay, and even if you open, okay, yeah, everything is still working. Nothing is broken. Yeah, I guess so. So head over here. So let's sharp on this again. Try updating this to say today. This to say today, and I need to go ahead and call save changes. And this is still 31, and nothing was added here, but let's confirm by restarting our app and make sure that it's still the same stuff. It's not the same because new home, nothing, there's no changes to it. It's still the same new home that we found before. So that's a problem we're having right that way right now. And let me see. I'm gonna say once this is called in here, I want to console log the to do, and we can just use log to do dot note to do dot task Oh, this requires one position argument, not multiple ones. Next line, I'm going to use another log statement. Log, this is the task. Next line, still do the same. Log to do dot complete. Next line, we have log statement in here. To do dot id. This is not a string, that pass to toString. The same right here to toString. We need the notes, the task, the complete. What else do we need from this? So let's work with this one for now. I'll go ahead and restart our app. Open this. Head over here. I'm tapping. Not saving, but basically calling this, setting this to today, and also this to today. Go ahead and call save changes. Okay, something happened. You can actually see the error, unhandled exception within our repository. Oh damn, so this is where the issues is coming from. Yeah, we didn't figure this one out. So feature the update to do okay, has this basically return db await not unimplemented error was true, but we didn't cache that. We need to actually use try cache on our app to actually cache out these errors we are just getting. Yeah, that's one way to actually fix the issue, that this not be load. This will be update to do, passing in a to do. The first one, the second one will be a list as a second item in there. And if I go ahead and save this as it is right now, clear, and restart our app, yeah, everything will be gone because yeah, we kind of figured out our mistake. And yeah, today home today, and also new home today. Save. Should be having my log statement being logged out, but for some reason my log statement is actually okay. I see. Just found it right now. Yes, that's it. So we have new home today. False, and there's the ID that was given to us. And if you go over here, let's try restarting our app and make sure this is actually what's taking over here. So if you go ahead and say restart, it's still saying new home. Yeah, new home is still what we are still getting. Looks like this is not being updated, but is being recreated. I guess that's what is happening. So if you go over and check our DB, our database right away, if I check my database, to do entity should contain all our to dos. So we have something called new home today, which is showing up here, new home today. And if I go ahead and delete that and try updating this to say new home today and new home today, go ahead and say save changes. It's going to create another one variable called another to do called new home today, which is actually not what we're expecting from our app to do. So we need to fix this issue that we're having. I'm gonna clear that out again. Try this, save. Yeah, because we have, okay, ID is 7. The one we are trying to update is actually 7. Back here in our app, I just want to pin this right in here and see what the ID should look like. We need to wrap this with debug mode. Still need to remove this later on, and I'm gonna say print to do.id. So if you save that, go ahead and tap in here again, save. You should say latest ID. Let's see how to fix. Okay, so we had an issue, so I'm trying to see how we can actually get this to work. Trying to figure it out some stuff. Oh no, we made a mistake right now. Come on. I think my head is actually tumbling right now. This should be still list, and this should be the one that should be to do. Yeah, fix that right. So let's try this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart our app, and there we go. So I'm gonna say this update to today. Let's leave that and just hit save. And we can actually see the ID being passed, that the real ID is being passed to us right now. I think that's much better. With that, what we could actually do is to figure out where I'm gonna say something like final to do to update will be equals to Isar DB dot to do entities dot where dot filter find first where Q should return Q accepts nothing. Okay, let's try this. Okay, looks like something is found. Yeah, and I'm gonna say dots. Okay, yeah, something is found, so that means it's working. So I'm gonna say get that particular ID or that particular to do that we want to update. Found it, it exists, so I'm gonna say that particular to do. I'm gonna say to do dot update dot note is now equals to do dot note, and again we have dot task is now equals to do dot task and dot ID. No, we don't need to update ID, but basically complete is now equals to do dot, so to do ID node task and then complete. We don't need the ID, and with all that we cap this off. we can actually go ahead and map it from JSON to return a to-do entity, but the issue that we are having is kind of like return a different I think it's a hash code for the int value for our ID, which is not being used properly by Isar DB to update that particular entity or to do. So in that case, you're having a duplicate of that particular to do. I think that's one of the issue we are having. But let's try this scenario that we have right in here. Let's try this one first and see what that looks like. Okay, looks like the code generation thing is done with. So we have a problem argument of type to do. No, we are not updating that, so that should be the one we should update. Should be to do to update. Now pass that in. So looks like we're gonna have to take this for a test drive this time around, see if this works. Hopefully we don't get an issue or error thrown to us, and we could actually have it work this time around. I'm gonna say home today, then go ahead and save. And if I go ahead and restart the app, looks like it worked. Restart the app again. Yeah, it actually worked. Yeah, it worked this time around. So we're able to actually update it, our list, but let's fix some issue. And we currently have a duplicate of that particular to do in our DB, so let's actually remove it. But that doesn't mean in the future that the user can have a duplicate of the same to do with the same name. Yeah, that's not what we're trying to stop from happening, but user can still have that if they want. But in our own case, we didn't intend to add it, so it was just a duplicate, so I'll just go ahead and remove it. Or we could just actually remove it, or we could just actually leave it the same. Like I said, that a user can still have the same kind of the same to do with the same names and notes, but the issue is that it won't be the same data, like the same object within our DB, because the IDs are different, the other stuff will be different. So let's remove this new home, so that's all removed. So if I go ahead and try changes this, so say new home with notes today, and then hit the save button. I'm expecting this to save without having a duplicate. So if I move over to the 7th one, new home, yeah, I should find the note to say new home with note today. So this is what I am expecting. And if I open this, so this is still what we got, new home with note today. And even if you go ahead and restart the app, you will still end up with the same stuff, new home with a note today, and nothing more changes. Yeah, that's still it. So yeah, we actually finally got this to work, and that's cool. We can actually move over to the next stuff in our list over here, so we're able to view a to do and its note, yeah, which we just concluded right now. We're able to do that. Next, convert the pop-up to Glassmorphic. We could actually do that right away and see what Glassmorphic design looks like, and if it's better, or we could actually go ahead and keep this version that we have. So to start off with that, I'm going to first of all commit the current changes we have here. We need it. So if we make any mistake, we can just revert back, and I'm going to say fit improved view to do pop up, and we have update to do. Yeah, that's the feature we added, and there we go. And I'll basically bring this up. Now we need to actually be able to do the other stuff. This to toString, I'm going to remove that. We don't need that anymore. Goes to what? Oh, not can be or conditionally. Okay, this is optional because we know it's not going to return. It might return nothing. That means it doesn't exist. But we can actually say optional chaining. No. The reason why I'm using force on wrap here, because I know when we get to this point, that means the note is actually found, or we actually have something, or we can actually wrap the whole stuff with try catch and just throw an error or something happened, or we could actually make sure that this is not null, that something was found before calling this particular function. Yeah. So next, yeah, on our list is the Glassmorphic design that we are trying to do. So the Glassmorphic design will basically be this. This is what the Glassmorphic design will look like. Main view. Inside our main view, because we currently have this pop-up this way, we want it to kind of like look similar to this in terms of Glassmorphic design. Yeah, something similar to this. Actually, see, this is actually Glassmorphic design also. If you don't want to create this from start, there are some packages out there to help. Glassmorphic flutter, because there's a whole lot of packages out there to help you guys to do that. Yeah, this one is in flutter, but pop.dev can make use of this. Glassmorphism, read more. Yeah, I can make use of this package to say achieve this and stuff. We can actually give it a try. Maybe use this to do what we want to do instead of recreating our own. But first, let's try recreate. Maybe we could try doing this, then try recreating our own, so I can actually see the difference. So to install this, I'm going to say pub.add Glassmorphism. Should we recreate our own, then do this? But anyway, and anywhere we go, we still kind of like end up still recreating our own. So so we can actually have this. So the reason why I'm trying to show you guys this way is that it's much better to actually use stuff that's already there than trying to recreate stuff your own. But we're still going to recreate our own to see how that works, so how we can actually accomplish Glassmorphism, different ways to accomplish that, instead of using the one that's out there. But have it in mind, it's always better to use was out there, as long as it's kind of like it fixed into what you want, instead of trying to recreate one from the beginning. It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to take a look at how to use that. So in here, makes sense to wrap our show drop down, the children, which is this container that we currently have here. And you can actually see the container doesn't have a height or width, but it has a max height, a max width, no height or width or something like that. So we are going to add a max width to it, and then we could just copy this to use within our app. So this is how to use it. I'm going to say, instead of a container, I'm going to add the Glassmorphic flex. Requires us to add other properties to it, so I'm going to comment these ones out, or basically delete them, then copy what they have here into ours. That should be right in here. And this we need a constant. No, it doesn't. Constant constructor should have surely fixed that, but it didn't. Okay. So if you go ahead and save this right now and open our app up again, I'm going to close this, open this. For some goodness reason, it's not actually opening up. Let's restart. Okay, now we have issues. Okay, it cannot have an all-bounded width. In that case, we can use the flex container. We could use the Glassmorphic container and give it a width and a height. So I'm gonna replace this with this. This requires, can we pass a constraint to it? Okay, height and width is actually required. So we're passing a height and width. I would say it should be 390, or basically say it should be 400, and width should be 400 also. And if we save this, go ahead and restart. And open this. Okay, this is what it looks like at the moment. So this is what we are seeing right in here. Okay, so there's something is actually wrong somewhere. How Glassmorphic is in material. It looks like the material we are wrapping it with, wrapping our widget to it, is the one causing the issues for us in this case. And I think I have a way to fix that. So I could just add these two properties in here: material transparency and clip anti-aliases. Let's see what that looks like. Now we have our Glassmorphic design showing up. So this is our Glassmorphic design. right in here. But it still looks like we still have an issue. I could go ahead and remove this material widget, but if you do that and save this, our app will actually throw an error. Yeah, it will throw this error. There's no descender or something like that, but I think there's other ways you can try to use. You could use a builder. Try using a builder on it to see if we are going to get the same error or if it's going to be fixed. Tap, no material widget found, so even with using a builder we still have the same error showing up. So let's go ahead and use the elevation and material transparency, clip, anti-aliases. What else are we missing? So that was basically what our dysmorphic design looks like by using that package. Maybe there's some stuff we need to do here. Border linear gradient from top to bottom. Opacity, stops, border gradients. Okay. So this what we came with. This is basically what our app is looking like at the moment by using. I think the issue might be because we're using the material widget to wrap the dysmorphic container, which is actually the stateless widget. So I think that might be the reason why we're having this issue. Because this is what we got. It's not actually a bit transparent like what we're expecting it for. Should actually look a bit like this. Or is it because we are using a white background at the end? No, I don't think so. My first suggestion is that it's because we are using a material widget on it. I think that's the reason why we're having those issues and other stuff happening. We could actually revert back to create one by ourselves that should be similar to what they have here. Yeah, there we go. We still have this showing up, but we want to change it to dysmorphic design. Also, if you're not going to use if you're not going to use a package, also remember to basically remove it. So deleting this from here and just saving that file, we just remove it and then update the current packages that we left behind that should be used within our app. So once that is done, so I will go back here and I'll show you guys how to do one by ourselves. So, but I'm going to copy the code over to be fast. So first of all, there's one way to actually achieve this. The first one will be inside our app, inside our container. I'm going to add this few code. It's our box decoration. That should be right in here. I'm gonna box decoration that we currently have is this. I'm gonna comment this out and add this particular code in it. Format, then save this. And we can also give it a try. So open it. That that didn't work. Let's restart. Okay, one stuff we are missing is to add a transparency to our material app, because we need it to be transparent, because material app start out having a background color. So if you add that transparency, if you tap on this, you can actually see it kind of has that glassmorphic effect whereby it's kind of a bit transparent. And yeah, this is what we have at the moment, kind of a bit transparent, but that doesn't look too good to me. It's kind of confusing to some users. So let's see how to actually fix this. I'm going to say white with opacity, set this to 5, let's go to 6 with alpha channel and all the stuff. Go ahead and save. Yeah, you can actually see a bit of the effect on that in here. So I think this is better than the first one, and you can actually keep on tweaking most of one of these variables that we have here, one of this stuff, to achieve a good looking glassmorphic design for the app. Or we could actually go ahead and try another one. So there's one more. I will show you guys another way we can actually do this. Move. Yeah, go back to the previous one we are, and now I can copy some code over. So I just copied some code over, and oh yeah, so the first one we did, we can actually leave it, but there are some issues, something happened. One stuff you can actually fix for that to work very well is to use backdrop filter on it. So I'm gonna use backdrop filter on it to actually get it to work. Yeah, I just forgot about that. I guess that's the reason why we didn't have a perfect glassmorphic UI, or which it's showing up. So comment this out, put this in. Next I'm gonna wrap. Okay, make this to be transparent. Still need it to be transparent. And then I'm gonna wrap this with backdrop filter. Backdrop filter, and we are going to use image filter on it. The filter type is going to be image filter. There you go. Need to import this from that UI. And next stuff we're going to do, so let's kind of actually save this. Next stuff we're going to do is to wrap this with creep rect. Save. Maybe let's start a bit and try to see what that looks like. So if you open this, yeah, I think this is much better of a good looking glassmorphic design than the previous one we did. So you have this glassmorphic design lay on top of the one we have here, this stuff we have here. And I could actually add the border color to be sort of being white. Maybe just make it white and use alpha channel 80 on it. Let's see what that looks like. Instead of using alpha channel, maybe you can actually leave it to be purely white, the border in there. Now you can actually see the pure white around the border, but you can actually increase the border width, maybe 3.0, so that the user can actually know that something is on top of, there's an overlay on top of the list or something like that. Yeah, some sort of so yeah, like this. So yeah, we can actually leave it this way. We can use this kind of like much better graphic design. If you want to actually confirm better how this looks like, we need to make this to be dark, to see what this looks. Okay, no, we don't want you everywhere. Just push this to be a the white background. You can actually see it looks much better. I say graphic design. So we can go with this, but I don't like this. I don't know what you guys think. Is it better? Should we use this should we use this graphic design, or should we just revert back to the previous stuff we have? If you look over, you can actually see there are some issues for the current dark mode we have. We still need to fix them. Most of these we should need to give it a different color on dark mode. Most of the tests we can actually see. Okay, we're seeing the test. Okay, that one is good. Yeah, the test in here we can't actually see it, so we have to fix that one. Apart from that, I don't think there's any other issues that we're having with dark mode. This needs to be in dark mode also. We need to fix that. Yeah. What else? Okay, I don't think there's any other stuff. Other ones are working good. Yeah, it's actually looking good. The other path. Yeah, and this color is actually appearing good. So I don't think there's any other changes that we can actually make. Just apart from these few changes I talked about for the dark mode theme, that's what we can actually make. Just change some few things on them, and I think we are good. So this, like I said, this is one way to achieve graphic design within our app. That's another way to do that. The other way, I will basically go ahead and remove what I have right now. I will just leave some of this and then copy some stuff over. So another way is to use what we call linear gradients. So you can use backdrop filter and linear gradients to achieve the second one, so of box shadow. So we are using box shadow for this. So the next one will be linear gradients that we are going to use, and we are using box shadow and with alpha channel on the colors to achieve the present one. So this one is basically going to be with linear gradients. To cancel this, open it up again. So this is what we have with the second version. So this is our second version. I think the second version is better than the previous version, or for my own test. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, there is the second version we have, and you can actually see it much better on a white background, but much better on a dark background than a white background. Yeah, kind of like the graphic design appears much better on a dark background than a white background, I mean to say. So I don't know what you guys think. Do you think this is better, or we could just revert back to our previous design or something like that? And if you move this to white and open it up, it doesn't kind of like appear that great on stuff. So yeah, or we could actually leave it. I think we can leave it. Yeah, we can just leave it and just use it this way. I think I like this one than the previous one we did. Yeah, I think this is much better. So yeah, guys, this is the graphic design, and we're able to add saving changes to our to-do list and adding the graphic design to our app. So I think this section is done with. Add graphic pop-up to our pop-up stuff. Next is to add a delete list, edit list, and all stuff like that. But before we do that, there are some changes we need to do. Much better ones to do is to add a way to toggle this on and off. So if you tap on this, that means you toggled the list to be completed, and once you tap on it again, you toggle the list to be uncompleted. Yeah, so we can actually add that, and once the list is completed, we can have an underline on our text. So our text, we have an underline, meaning that the list is completed. And also we have this stuff, icons. So we can actually have a way to change the icons. The icons will be the exact icons of the current selected tab. That's what I'm guessing. Or we could actually have a way to have each list have its own icons and all those stuff. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but let's see. Because I think what we from the real app itself, which is the Dona app, I think the way they were doing it was basically using their making out the list has its own icon. I think so. We'll actually check out their page, which should be somewhere here. Should be on Dribble. Within Dribble, I'll just go to my own Dribble profile. Also, you guys, if you want to follow my Dribble, there it is. This is one of my old project on Dribble when I was just trying out some design work and all those stuff. Yeah. Actually came out great. They're actually good looking than I expected. So I didn't do much on it, stuff like all this stuff, but I just left these sections, then moved on to just development side. We are using one from, so we got one from Aaron for, yeah, this is actually designed for the calculator app we did. So this is why I actually get most of the design for the calculator app, and some other iterations and combination with it, but I'm looking for something specific. It's from Aaron, yeah, but let me see. Looks like yep, I got one. So what I'm saying is that we can actually have a way for each of these lists to have okay, none of them should actually have, okay, I see, none of them has its own icon. Yeah, it uses the icon of its parents list to show up here instead of its icon. Okay, I see how to fix that. Yeah, because if you take a look, this is actually the text box. We need to actually improve the text box to actually include these two, this and this. When someone is typing, you can actually see where I got that double slash from, to add to our inputs. Next stuff you can actually do, okay, we check this out. Okay, this works. Actually how that works. So you can actually check out the Dona website itself, so to see if we are still on the same page right here. If you go ahead and, okay, see, okay, each list contains the icon of its parents. Okay, that's much better and much easier to implement than trying to make every single list has its own icon. So let's go ahead and fix those issues. So first of all, what's the first one to do? Oh, I almost forgot. I already forgotten what we wanted to do. Come on, remember. Come on. Okay, first I want each of these to have its own icon, not its own icon, its parents icon, and I want to add a checkbox to be clickable and checkable. Yeah, check. Yeah, I'm checking the checkbox. So let's do that. First, I want to change the icons. So I'm gonna say each of the to-dos when they are being listed out, and also, yeah, our glassmorphic design, we're still going to keep our glassmorphic design to be here. Kind of like this, how it looks on dark theme, so we're still gonna keep it to be here, our glassmorphic design. And just go ahead and switch to light theme, go back. So right away I'm gonna say, okay, this icon should be this same icon. To do that, where are we actually listing all our to-dos? We are listing all our to-dos inside main view. Yeah, inside the main view, right in here somewhere here. So this is where we are doing that, and each custom to-dos should also have icon property. And if I go in there, custom to-do, see that the icon is currently hard coded. What we need to do, I will say icon final void, no, not void callback, that's not callback. We could have icon or color. That's the one we want to have. Either is a color or is an icon. So which could actually say one should be color, it should be optional color, and next final should be emoji, which is actually a string, and it's actually an optional string, so call that emoji, close that off, and add that inside our constructor right in here. Yeah, and next, where do we display this? In here. But to make this much easier for us, we're gonna get some code, the code we use in displaying what we have here. Because if you tap on an icon, it shows up here, and if you tap on a text, on a color, the one with a color, it shows up here as a color. So let's go ahead and fix that. And where we did that was still inside our main view. Yeah, everything is still kind of like surrounds main view, because that's what we did most of the stuff. So I'm going to copy this. So this is what we use for that. Get that list icon, then head into our custom to dos. Instead of having this particular icon in there, I'm going to use list icon for that. And we could have moved this to a separate what am I trying to do, to a separate custom file for custom widgets. So this needs to be constant, and so we're gonna say it needs an icon, right? So either passing a color, either a color is being passed in, so I'm gonna pass in a color if colors is passed in. That should be widget dot color if colors are passed in. Next, invalid constant value. Okay, it doesn't need to be constant, like I see. And next is emoji. I'm gonna pass in widget dot emoji if emoji is actually passed in. Just show the user an emoji as the icon. Apart from that, I don't think there's any other stuff we need to do. And now we need to fix this within our main view. You can also see all these things are having colors at the moment, and the colors, I don't like them. It's just using a constant hard-coded colors that we're currently adding within the list. So this we have a property called color, and that will be coming from active so it should be coming from active, the currently selected list or tab within our app. So that's where it should be coming from. So we have this tab block. That makes sense. That actually means that we're going to wrap this with a tab block. So I'm going to say wrap with a builder, and the builder is going to be called tab block. We're going to have something called active, and returns an expanded widget, which is going to have active dot color, and this should be an integer. Remember how we did that? So I'm going to say active dot color if it's not equal. Okay, this is an optional integer. If it's not equals to null, go ahead and create a color with it. Pass the active integer, force and wrap it, else passing a null value. Passing a null value. We do the same for the emoji. For emoji, active dot emoji. That's all. If you go ahead and save this, I think this comes out much better. save it, basically restart. See, every single one of them has the same color property, and if you go back to the one that has an emoji, or basically the one that has a color, you can actually see, okay, this color is now this one, its color changes to different stuff also. The ones with emoji, let's add a list over here. I'm gonna say personal brush. Yeah, I think that's personal stuff, and then save. Now you can actually see this list has an emoji on it, so every other ones that has an emoji shows up as an emoji. This one also, we have this parents emoji showing up along its side, and this doesn't have any stuff. I could just say color paint my room with blue. No, not next line. Basically save, and you can actually see this has a green color by the side. So this normal color, default color is green, and today the default color is green because none of these has its own color, so you cannot have this default color of green. So this has a brain icon, so every one of them gets a brain icon. Color gets a color, and a user in front of a computer for office emoji, so every one of them gets that particular emoji. World Cup, they get the same color. Travel, they also get the same colors. With that being added, next stuff you can actually do is to add a check mark like I talked about for this icon here. That should still be inside our tool custom to dos. Go to definition. One other stuff to fix is if we open this, it shows this particular icon, which is not true. It should be its own icon. So to do, before going over to add a check mark, we need to fix that. That should be inside our main view, and inside our main view, when you call this show drop down also have a property called list view. I think there's one place we are building, we are passing in a tab, the current tab that has been selected. Yeah, tab block, tab builder, and we call it active. So I'm gonna say for this icon here, so being an icon, I'm going to replace this to be a list icon. Oh shit, we made a mistake. So yeah, there you go. The column will be almost the same stuff we did for this section, so I'll just copy those over here and do that for list. Okay, now I found it. So active, so if you open this now, yeah, this has the same icon as the parent. So even if you go here and open this, has the same icon as the parent. So actually close it off. Do the same here, it has the same icon as the parent, so close this off. This do the same, has the icon as its parent, so close this off. Yeah, I think we got something working better with this. So I think it's time for the custom to dos and the check mark. So over here, this is what we are using for the check mark, right? it has no. Okay, this is the check mark. So we are going to say when the user taps on this, if the to-do is actually completed, go ahead and mark the to-do as completed, and then change the color to black. So I'm going to add a variable, which should be final, going to be a boolean, not optional, but I'm going to say is completed, and add that to be a required property in here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to say if is completed is true. So by trying to change the color, if completed is true, that's basically widget dot is completed. If it's true, brand colors should be dark color. Come on. Dot secondary. Else. Yeah. Else. Yeah, that's for else. Dark color. If you save it, nothing's gonna happen because it's not completed. We're gonna have some issues that we need to fix here. We're gonna have a gesture dictator around this. Yeah, I think that makes more sense, but we already have one around the parent. It says so that when someone taps on this, it just views, but when someone taps on this one, wrap, with a gesture, show D detector, have on tap, and I'm going to pass a function final void callback on check. Yeah, that will be the function name. Add this as required. Passing widget dot uncheck as a function we need in there. Now main view needs to be adjusted a bit to contain all those changes. So it's completed. It'll be having to-dos at this index dot complete. There you go. And next is the uncheck function, passing another function into it that will fix that particular issues. And because all the to-dos are not completed, so all this will be like this until we get a to-do that's actually completed. This is not completed. So let's fix that. So I'm going to say when someone taps on this, I'm going to mark this particular to-do to be completed. So how do we do that? The same way we did whereby we are updating our to-do inside show dropdown. As inside show dropdown, I'm going to copy that same code. I don't need to rewrite heavy stuff. Yeah, I'm going to copy this same code and then use it within uncheck function. So when it's uncheck, I'm going to say to-do.copy with to-do.com. What's undefined? What am I getting undefined? Yeah. To do at this particular index. Yeah, and to do at this particular index dot copy with, and complete will be if it's true, basically it should be not this or that. So basically kind of switch between false and true. That's what we are doing here. And also the to do will be current checked and then edit notes and we don't want an edit note. They still, this all the properties will still be the same. Notes dot note, and do the same right here. Dot task is still the same task. So if you go ahead and restart, and let's give this a try. So I'm gonna tap on this. Nice one. So you can actually see this is now showing that this test is that this to do is completed. If you go ahead and restart our app, it should be the same way. Yeah, because that this is saved as completed to do. Restart. It's still the same, showing that the to do is now completed, but we need to start this with a line underline for that particular custom to do to show visually that is actually completed. So I'm gonna say for the test part, underline decoration. Let's see how to use this. Test line, test direction, overflow, max line. Okay, I'm gonna use test style. Basically style property. We're gonna make use of test style, and instead of test style, in there we go. They should be saying decoration, so I'm gonna use get hold of test decoration. Decoration style, dot double that, oh, it's dotted, dashed foreground, tests, leading distribution, fonts, decoration color, decoration style, decoration thickness, font family, font. Okay, decoration thickness family, decoration thickness is that, does that make sense? Decoration thickness. Okay, let's add decoration color, brand colors, the secondary decoration thickness 3.0. Make sure that we're actually on the same page. Decoration. Line through, overline, underline, line through. Draw a line through it. Yeah, there you go. Instead of dotted line, I'm gonna say solid. Yeah, so this is actually showing that this is not completed, but we want this to only happen because the style can be null or not. So what I'm gonna say, test style will already show up. If widget dot is completed, it should show this, else passing null here, and this doesn't need to be constant anymore. If you save that, now we have only this will be struct tree, because this is actually showing that this has been completed. And if you check this again, it's no longer completed and everything goes away. If you restart, you can actually figure that out. Yeah, and if you tap on it, checked, then you can actually view. We want to, when it's viewed, we can actually tell the user, okay, this is completed or not completed. I think that's better to show the user what's going on. If it's completed, they still view it, but yeah, let's actually fix this first. So if it's completed, we need to be able to show the user that this is completed. That's inside our show drop down text button. For the text button, go ahead before this one, inside this one, and we could use this. So this should say something like to do dot is to do complete. If it's true, go ahead and show brand color black. Else, go ahead and show this particular color that we have at the top right here. And then we need to remove one of these colors. We don't need them. We don't need two, we just need one. If you go ahead and save this, now if you open this up, you can actually have this saying completed or not completed. If you open this up, you can actually have, okay, not completed. So change the text to say if, it should be if to do that is complete. Yeah, to do dot complete is true. If it's true, show this. Else, show, if it's true, show completed. Else, show not completed. And there you go, the test says completed, and close this, not completed. So that's better one to actually do. So if this is completed, the user should not be able to make changes to it, so you couldn't change it. We have to actually add that also, but we are not going to do that today, so we are going to move that to tomorrow. We are already I'm already feeling tired yeah, from all this. So yeah, I think we actually did a lot today. We are able to mark a to-do to be completed or not completed. We can actually view other to-dos. So we are able to save to-dos and edit to-dos that was actually added, but we are not able to delete a to-do, so we should be able to add that. So tomorrow we'll be looking into deleting a to-do. Maybe double tapping on a particular to-do should be able to delete it, or just swiping it left or right should be able to delete it, or also dragging it and maybe dragging it and dropping it to somewhere else should be able to delete it. And yeah, those are ways actually to kind of like thinking maybe you can be able to delete it to do's. Next other stuff you can actually be able to implement after that is to, okay, we already have this showing up, we have this, have this, yeah, have a way to delete a list. Currently right now we don't have a way to delete a list, so we still need to add those ones within the app. So I'm still looking into that, but yeah, that was it. So guys, let me know what you think, drop your suggestions, and we can actually continue tomorrow from where we stopped today. And if it is your first time from joining us, please do subscribe to our channel, hit the subscription button, and encourage, so that you actually encourage us to do more and continue doing this stuff. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day, everyone, and thanks for joining, guys.